The COVID-19 pandemic gave remote working a tremendous boost across the board. Initially by sheer necessity, not out of conviction. Yet, the pandemic quickly made companies see advantages of a more flexible way of working and monitoring. As one of the results, companies, not just in IT, have increased outsourcing to freelancers wherever they may be found. This is called virtual migration or telemigration. Bring the job to the worker's doorstep. Distance is no barrier any longer. Telemigration therefore quickly has become the virtual transmission belt that brings opportunity to talent and vice versa. Telemigration is bound to revolutionize the global labor market. What do these telemigrants do? A huge percentage works in software development, information technology, the creative and multimedia industries, in South and Southeast Asia, in China, but in Russia and Ukraine as well. In Africa and Latin America too, telemigration has received a boost, both from the demand and the supply side. Governments, such as in Kenya and Malaysia, set up special programs to make the internet-savvy young generation embark on careers as telemigrants. In the most developed economies too, digitally empowered outsourcing of high-skilled tasks to professionals working for their own account is irreversibly on the rise. Why then do so many young, well-educated people want to board the E-train? Here are a few good reasons. Escape from unemployment, especially in poorer countries now most severely hit by the pandemic and faltering tourism on top. Entry into well-paying foreign markets at no more cost than a laptop, cell phone and Wi-Fi connection. Telemigrate, not migrate, but move up the ladder just the same. Avoid the costs and hardship of physical migration and make a proper living anyhow. Working mothers may create a healthy work-life balance from home. And brick and mortar companies, what is their gain? Clearly, telemigration saves money for travel, office space, workplaces, etc. It opens up new markets for recruitment at little cost. Talented freelancers may be had for a fraction of what they would cost back home, and they are eager for the gig. Overall, what value do the global digital platforms add? They operate fast, are efficient and convenient to the benefit of both firms and individuals. Some platforms specialize as brokers on the global labor market. A lot of companies start fully virtual and are global in outreach from the beginning, scouting for talent across borders and time zones. A complementary move is made by quite a few high-skilled independent professionals. They install themselves temporarily in a country that facilitates such digital nomad workers. There are dozens of countries offering extended tourist visas and first-class remote access for a working stay of up to a year or more. These digital nomads basically are independent and location independent, working for global e-platforms from wherever they happen to be. The extreme opposite of migrant workers who start a physical job abroad through an on-location digital platform which provides them with low-skilled, menial, temporary gigs in their new environment. But telemigration e-platforms have their downsides too, similar to on-location platforms. These traits seem to be inherent in the nature of the gig beast, whether local or global. Gig workers run the risk of being treated as disenfranchised and disposable. Microtasks or gigs do not guarantee job income security. The work is too often still low-paying and precarious. Gig prices are too often imposed unilaterally by the platform. They are opaque and non-negotiable. There is hardly any recourse against abuse, such as non-payment. There is a lack of grievance and complaint mechanisms. There is no management to talk to. The algorithm decides arbitrarily. The gig is performed in isolation. No colleagues to team up with, just anonymous competitors. Lack of collective representation. Additional issues typical for telemigrants seem to be: in a global marketplace, which national labor law does the platform apply? Attempts to evade national law in search of tax havens. Confusion and possible tax penalties result. geographic discrimination of low-income countries, less pay because of their region. Overexploitation. Successful telemigrants take on gigs they farm out to less experienced freelancers and take a cut of their earnings. Risk of a widening gap between first-class and second-rate telemigrants. In conclusion, global e-platforms should abide by the national labor law in the country of residence of the gig workers they engage. Tax evasion in particular must be made impossible. This requires intergovernmental tuning and alignment of relevant rules and regulations. Gig workers themselves are free to organize one way or the other. Yet, given the high-skilled gig workers out to embark on an international career through global platforms, it can be doubted that traditional collective representation would be adopted by these individuals. Farming out gigs by gig workers through subcontracting should be counteracted.